Hey, what's up mortals, it's ArchaicNexus here. And before we get into the video, just a quick shout out to all of our supporters on Patreon. Thank you guys so much for everything you do. If you'd like to support us and our content, please go over there, check it out. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Before the hidden villages came to be, there was the Sage of Six Paths, also known as Hagoromo Otsutsuki. We'll be discussing the Otsutsuki clan and their history more in detail in another video. Just know that Hagoromo is the father of all shinobi. We'll also be going over the Sage of Six Paths in a later video. Hagoromo saved the world by sealing the Ten-Tailed Beast into his own body, and became the Jinchuriki of the Ten-Tailed Beast. We'll also be discussing the Ten Tails more in detail in a later video. As time went on, there eventually came to be this idea and fear that the Ten Tails would escape Hagoromo's body once he eventually died. It was thanks to Asura, Hagoromo's youngest son, that gave him the idea to separate the Ten Tails into 9 smaller beasts with their unique personalities. Hagoromo accomplished just that through the use of his creation of all things ability, which allowed him to split the Ten-Tailed Beasts into 9 separate chakra beast entities. Once the 9-tailed beasts were created, Hagoromo would give all of them their names: Shukaku, Matsutake, Isobu, Son Goku, Kokuo, Seiken, Chomi, Gyuki, and Kurama. Hagoromo would then explain to them about how they were all connected despite them all being individual creatures. He also foretold of a day when they would all be brought back together again. Over the years, the tailed beasts have been set free unto the world, until eventually being captured and sealed into a child, turning that child into a Jinchuriki. The Jinchuriki are human vessels that act as a prison for the tailed beasts to avoid mayhem among the villages. As the Jinchuriki get older, they will soon come to realize that their chakra reserves are not of their own. Depending on the connection between the Jinchuriki and its chakra beast, the amount of control and power they'll have access to may differ. Since Jinchuriki have a tailed beast sealed inside of them at a very young age, their connection with the tailed beast is so strong that they'll die if the chakra beast is ever siphoned from their bodies. However, the tailed beasts can't die themselves, since they're essentially just a huge mass of chakra in a physical form. When killed, the chakra is dispersed out into the world before one day forming back into the tailed beast sometime in the future. Once reformed, it'll begin to rampage until captured and sealed back inside of another Jinchuriki. This moves us into our first tail beast, Shukaku, also known as the One Tail, which takes the shape of a giant tanuki, also known as a Japanese raccoon dog. The One Tail is made entirely out of sand with blue markings covering its body from its ears to its tail. Shukaku was first introduced in Naruto chapter 134 of the manga and episode 78 of Naruto. Shukaku, before Hagoromo died, was sent out to protect a temple in the desert region that would later be known as the Land of Wind. This is where it stayed before being captured by some of the disciples who were present. When this occurred, it was relocated to the village hidden in the sands, where the first Kazekage used it as leverage to gain wealth and power for his nation. Shukaku's first Jinchuriki was a priest named Bunpuku, who was locked away in a dungeon in the shape of a tea kettle. Over time, the villagers came to believe that Shukaku was a corrupt priest sealed inside a tea kettle. Shukaku's personality is said to be described as childish individual speaking in a very loud and bombastic manner. Shukaku relishes in killing anyone he possibly can, especially during a full moon. He also holds a personal grudge against Kurama, the Nine Tails. This was because Kurama believes that a tailed beast's power depends on the number of tails they have, calling Shukaku the weakest out of all of them. Shukaku's nature types involve earth and wind release, and by extension granting Shukaku the Kekkei Genkai magnet release. Shukaku gives its Jinchuriki unique traits such as sand manipulation, influencing the Jinchuriki in its sleep, and having the Jinchuriki show curse seal markings. Excluding Hagoromo, Shukaku has belonged to Bunpuku, Gaara, and Naruto Uzumaki. Obito and Madara Uchiha don't exactly count, considering they've only ever taken in the 10 Tails exclusively, which is a separate entity. So please keep that in mind as we move forward. Now, Matsutake, also known as the Two Tails, is described as a giant blue-flamed Bakeneko, or monster cat, who was first introduced in chapter 313 of the manga and episode 72 of Naruto Shippuden. Matsutake was sent out by Hagoromo to go out and protect the temple located in the Canebrake region. This is where it settled until the First Ninja War, when Hashirama Senju captured it. It was then sold to the Kumogakure at the Five Kage Summit as a sign of friendship and a balance of power between the Leaf and Lightning villages. Behind the Falls of Truth, where Jinchuriki learned to control their power, there are murals of Matsutabe and Gyuki, which indicates how long they were associated with the village. Sometime later, the tailed beast got sealed within Yugito Ni when she was very young. As she grew older, she was placed in a training program to learn to control her power. Despite the ghastly appearance of Matsutabe, the Two Tails was a more respectful and polite tailed beast. Because of this personality, Matsutabe is the easiest tailed beast to be a Jinchuriki because the connection and friendship were just so easy to build. Matsutabe's nature type is Fire Release with no Kekkei Genkais in extension. Despite the unique attribute of producing blue flames, Matsutabe would give its Jinchuriki cat-like abilities on top of the blue flames that the Jinchuriki would be able to wield. The two Jinchurikis Matsutabe has ever been sealed in have been Yugito Ni and Naruto Uzumaki. This moves us to Isobu, also known as the Three Tails. Isobu is a giant gray and red turtle with spikes being present throughout the shell as well as armor-plated skin. Isobu was first introduced in the manga in chapter 317 and episode 92 of Shippuden. Prior to Hagoromo's death, he sent Isobu to protect a temple in a region surrounded by a large misty lake that would later become part of the Land of Water. Isobu was also one of the tailed beasts that were taken by Hashirama Senju and was sold to the Kirigakure as a sign of friendship, also balancing the power with the village hidden in the mist and the leaf. However, decades later the Kirigakure was manipulated by Madara and sealed Isobu into the shinobi Rin Nohara. Madara plotted for Rin to be taken back to her village as a Trojan horse, releasing the tailed beast to wreak havoc in Konoha. This failed, however, as Rin was fully aware of their schemes and opted to kill herself at the hands of her friend, Kakashi Hatake, before their objectives could succeed. Even though Isobu has a very broad and overpowering physique, he comes off as very timid and tends not to speak out much. This also allows for the Jinchuriki of Isobu to befriend Isobu quite easily, allowing for easier control over the power he offers. As for Isobu's nature types and jutsu, even though it's anime only, other than water release, Isobu gets access to yin release as well. On top of this, a unique attribute for Isobu is coral production. He can also manipulate mists that can cause hallucinations, exploiting the victim's insecurities. The four-tailed beast, also known as Son Goku, takes the shape of a red massive gorilla with massive fangs and horns. Instead of a tongue, Son Goku has a glottis located at the entrance of its mouth. The four tails have little spikes popping out from the skin of the tails as well. Son Goku was first introduced in chapter 567 of the manga and episode 165 of Shippuden. Before Hagoromo's death, Son Goku was sent out to a temple located in the Land of Earth. This is where Son Goku stayed until he was captured by Hashirama Senju. Hashirama then sold Son Goku to the Iwagakure at the Five Kage Summit. This was to initiate friendship and a share of power between the Hidden Stone and Leaf villages. Son Goku ended up being sealed within Roshi, who left his village to journey on and gain a better understanding and control of the tailed beast. Son Goku's physique is just as broad and outgoing as his prideful personality. Son Goku hates being called Four Tails and boasts about the history of himself to others. Son Goku also hates humans, thinking how preposterous it is for humans to think it would be okay to enslave him. Son Goku knows taijutsu, allowing him to be nimble even with his large size. On top of this, Son Goku's nature types involve Earth Release, Fire Release, and the Kekkei Genkai Lava Release. He also has access to unique jutsus such as the Flower Fruit Mountain and the Monkey Flame Arson. Kokuo, the Five Tails, has a resemblance to a white horse but with a dolphin's head, and its four horns gradient from white to orange toward the tips. It has red markings underneath the spring green colored eyes. The Five Tails was first introduced in chapter 566 and episode 165 of Shippuden. Hagoromo sent Kokuo to live in a temple in the forest region. This is where it would reside until Hashirama finds it. Kokuo was also sewed to the Iwagakure by Hashirama Senju during the Five Kage Summit, along with Son Goku. Kokuo would end up being sealed within Han, making Han the Jinchuriki of the Five Tails. Later on, however, Han was captured and had Kokuo extracted by the Akatsuki. Kokuo's abilities are quite knowledgeable. The willpower Kokuo has is enough to get away from some genjutsus. The nature types Kokuo has possession over is Fire Release, Water Release, and the Kekkei Genkai Boil Release. Kokuo also has access to other unique jutsu like the Boil Release Unrivaled Strength and Horn Breaking. Now on to Seiken the Six Tails. Seiken is a white and baby blue tinted slug with small arms and feet. Its entire body is covered in a clear, slimy substance and elongated tendrils for eyes. Its mouth is a wide opening across its head, with slime dripping across it in small sections. Seiken was first introduced in chapter 467 and episode 151 of Shippuden. Seiken was sent by Hagoromo before his death to a temple built in a humid, cavernous region. This is where Seiken resides until Hashirama captures it. Along with Isobu, Seiken was sold by Hashirama to the Kirigakure to bring friendship and a balance of power between the Leaf and Mist villages. Decades later, Seiken would be sealed inside one of the shinobi, Utakata. Harusame Utakata Sensei tried and failed to remove Seiken from his student, intending to save Utakata from being a living weapon for the Mist Village. However, having not heard what his master said to him, he later came to the assumption that his master had tried to kill him. This attempt at removing Seiken from his student resulted in Utakata transforming into Seiken and killing Harusame. Seiken's personality is about as squishy as it looks. Not too much is known of it, but based on what was seen in the anime, Seiken's personality seems to be that of kindness and a lack of malicious intent. Unlike the other tail beasts, when its Jinchuriki Utakata asked for Seiken's help, it was more willing to comply with Utakata. In terms of prowess, Seiken's nature types involve only water release. Its unique attributes, however, make this nature type more interesting, utilizing slime and bubbles to incapacitate its pursuers. Seiken shows a great deal of durability as well, showing feats such as being thrown a great distance from Kurama and not suffering any damage. This brings us to Chomei, the Seven Tails. Chomei is a giant blue Kabutomushi, or rhinoceros beetle. 6 of its 7 tails resemble that of actual bug wings, with an actual 7th tail expanding out from its abdomen. The stem of the tail is green, but the wings are orange. Its eyes are covered by a helmet skull. From inside, an orange glow can be seen. It also has spikes on its shoulders and 6 legs, 3 on each side. The legs are also covered by blue armor. Chomei was first introduced in chapter 467 and episode 165 of Shippuden. After Hagoromo's death, Chomei was sent to a temple located in the closed forest region that was covered in a variant of different mosses. When Hashirama captured Chomei, it was sold to the Takigakure, where it was the only beast who did not belong to any of the 5 great shinobi countries. Decades later, Chomei was sealed inside of its Jinchuriki, Fu. Fu attempted to stop Hoichi from extracting Shukaku from its host Gaara. Her failed attempt caused her to draw the attention of Hoichi, who also began extracting Chomei from Fu. Chomei seems to have an upbeat personality, which it shares with its Jinchuriki. It would later refer to itself as the Lucky 7 Chomei, which might have to do with it having 7 tails, the number 7 having long been seen as lucky as well as a happy number. It also has a habit of using the word lucky in conversation, reflecting its personality. Chomei doesn't have any nature types. Instead, it uses bug-related jutsus as well as a powder to incapacitate its foes. It can also use the horns of its own body as well as the ability to fly for attacking as well. The jutsus it uses specifically are called Bug Bite and Spear Attack Shining Horn. Chomei also has a defensive ability where it wraps itself in a cocoon to enhance durability and also block chakra absorption techniques. Now for Gyuki, the Eight Tails. It takes the form of an Ushioni, also known as an octopus ox. Its size is legendary, known to dwarf entire forests as well as towers over large mountainous formations. The left horn on its head got permanently sliced off due to a battle with the third Raikage. The right horn also got torn off due to a point-blank bijou ball by the Ten Tails in the Fourth Great Ninja War. Gyuki has a muscular upper body as well as a hunched back. It has muscular arms with spikes emitting from the elbows. Its tails also take the form of octopus tentacles, and its entire body is the color of an orange tint. Gyuki was first introduced in chapter 413 and episode 143 of Shippuden. Gyuki was sent to a temple by Hagoromo that was located in a region surrounded by tall mountains between the clouds. This region was later known as the Land of Lightning. Hashirama then captured Gyuki and sold it to the Kumogakure along with Matsutake. There can be murals found of Gyuki and Matsutake behind the Falls of Truth, a place where Jinchuriki go to control their tailed beasts. This indicates just how long Gyuki and Matsutake have been associated with the country. Throughout the years, none of Gyuki's Jinchuriki could control its power. The ox would constantly go on rampages, destroying the village and killing many of its inhabitants. The third Raikage believed that Gyuki was too valuable for war, deciding to keep looking for a compatible Jinchuriki. He would form a special seal sealing Gyuki in an amber purification jar. During a rampage, the third fought Gyuki until they both collapsed from exhaustion. During another, Gyuki had one of its horns lost to the third Raikage. After the battle, however, Gyuki cannot recollect its memories of the events that occurred. Gyuki's personality matches his appearance, having a tough and serious attitude. He's also shown to be intelligent and analytical. He mentions that it dislikes Kurama for his belief that their strength is based on the number of tails. This, however, was no reason to turn away the helping of Naruto to control Kurama's power. Since then, both Gyuki and Bee have taken a liking to Naruto. Gyuki also doesn't have any nature types. Regardless, it was known to be the second strongest tailed beast. Gyuki's feats are great. Taking on the third Raikage, also in the Fourth Great Ninja War, he battled two other tailed beasts, despite suffering from a prior injury. Its unique attributes let Gyuki utilize ink as well as a barrage of tailed beast bombs. Kurama, the nine-tailed demon fox, is probably the most well-known in the Naruto verse. It has orange fur with black fur along its eyes stretching out to its ears. Its upper body takes the shape of a human as well as thumbs that come with its front paws. Its size is equal to that of the Hokage Rock, and Gamabunta being roughly the same size as Kurama's torso alone. Kurama was sent to the temple by Hagoromo, located in the Land of Fire, where it continued to reside. Kurama gained a fearsome reputation as a natural disaster that can destroy entire areas that humans reside in. Later on, during the formation of the shinobi villages, the Gold and Silver brothers were assigned to capture Kurama. However, they were swallowed by the fox. The two brothers miraculously survived the encounter, gaining some of Kurama's power, eating its stomach from the inside for a fortnight, forcing Kurama to puke them up. Later on, Madara would use his Sharingan to take control of Kurama, utilizing him in the battle against Hashirama Senju. During the battle, Madara surrounded the tailed beast with its Susanoo to increase Kurama's offensive and defensive capabilities. Regardless, it wasn't enough for Hashirama, defeating Madara as a result of their fierce battle. Hashirama then deemed the fox to be too dangerous just to roam free. Mito Uzumaki then sealed the fox inside herself, making her the fox's first Jinchuriki. After that, we dive into the start of the anime. Obito set in motion a maniacal plan, utilizing the weakened seal during Mito's childbirth. Obito sets the beast free among the village hidden in the leaves, causing a village-wide event which later leads to Mito and Minato's sacrifice, sealing half of the beast within their own child, Naruto. Twisted, shrewd, cynical, and hate. These are the properties and emotions that make up Kurama's personality. Kurama shows pride in its power, believing to be the strongest of the tailed beasts. This is based on its belief that strength is determined by the number of tails, which earned Kurama nothing but disapproval from the other tailed beasts. Even through Kurama's pride, he still shows restraint, believing that it alone doesn't stand a chance against the Ten Tails. From the fox's past experience with Madara, he knows full well he is not an opponent to be trifled with. Kurama shows an annoyed reaction when Naruto uses a power other than its own, believing its Jinchuriki needs no other power than what Kurama offers. It is also shown that Kurama cares about Hagoromo Otsutsuki, even going out of his way to shed tears after the sage's passing. Kurama's nature types are unique, being that they're only canon in the anime. In the manga, Kurama doesn't have any nature types, when in the anime he has wind and fire release. Due to Kurama's long history of hate, it later develops a unique ability to detect negative emotions. Later on, this unique attribute would be utilized by Naruto, enabling him to battle even with his eyes closed, detecting the chakra flow and negative emotions of his enemies. Kurama's power is immense, so immense in fact that even half of Kurama is enough to take on 5 of the other tailed beasts at once. At the end of the Fourth Great Ninja War, both halves of Kurama were once again reunited inside of Naruto, which was enough to battle Toneri's giant golem and Momoshiki Otsutsuki. Kurama later on would be able to manifest outside of Naruto, allowing Naruto and Kurama to fight independently amongst each other. All tailed beasts have access to the Tailed Beast Bomb, a jutsu that combines the yin and yang of chakra nature, collapsing it into a compressed ball of pure chakra. This ball can be launched and cause massive destruction on a nuclear bomb scale. The 8 and 9 tailed beasts are so effective with this ability that they can make super large tailed beast bombs that are destructive enough to desolate entire landscapes. They can also shoot out a barrage of normal-sized bijou bombs at the enemy like bullets, with the same explosion power as a nuclear bomb. Since the tailed beasts were all split from one entity, they can communicate with each other through telepathy over large distances. This can allow for Jinchuriki to initiate teamwork in battle through the communication of their own tailed beasts. Since they are all in essence a huge mass of chakra, they grant their Jinchuriki with massive amounts of chakra as well. They can even transfer portions of their chakra to others, like how Naruto did to the whole Shinobi Alliance in the Fourth Great Ninja War. However, a tailed beast will become unconscious if they lose all of their chakra. Thank you all so much for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. In case you didn't already know, we have a merch store. And now, some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time. So if you're interested, go into the description box down below and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Second, I gotta give a big shout out to our $5 and up Patreon supporters for helping us to fund these videos. We absolutely love you guys. Lastly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writer and the editor for this video. Their details are going to be in the description box down below. And if you're a voice actor, editor, or writer, or you're interested in becoming one of those, go to the Discord that's in the description of this video. Hit up the head of one of those departments. We're always looking for members to join us. Now that's it for us from today's video, so thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're interested. And hit that like button if you liked the video. Until next time, peace out mortals, have an amazing day.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through.